Good morning, guys. It has been a while since we have gotten into this compartment of our freezer. I think we've had it for a few years, and we have never thawed it and gotten rid of that ice layer. So we're definitely in need to do that. But we're not doing that today. We are working on the chicken coop, and I'm just grabbing some fish for them and some berries for our breakfast. Okay, we've got breakfast going, but this breakfast is actually not for us. This is for the chickens as well. I had hoped to make us some sourdough this morning, but when I woke up, our bread really probably should have been cooked last night, and it was just like exhausted. It didn't look very good. So we're going with crepes, and that's Eric's specialty. So when we get this all done, we are going to make some crepes. But this is that sourdough bread. We turned it into a batter for the chickens. It's got cinnamon, garlic, I have flaxseed, sesame, and pumpkin seeds in there. And then we also use some water and some whey liquid to kind of thin it out. So I'm sure that they're going to be very thrilled about having pancakes for breakfast. Both of these are done. Look at that. Eric whipped up some fantastic crepes, so we're gonna get those made, and then we're gonna head outside to work on the chicken coop. And I'm just gonna make some filling. I have some of our crystallized honey, and I've never done this before. I'm gonna immersion blend it with the kefir cheese, which is pretty much just like ricotta. It's plain. We're gonna see what kind of filling that makes. All right, that should be perfect.
I got your DoorDash order. We got the short stack for the chickens, and who doesn't love feeding animals by hand? So let's feed the chickens. You got to make them work for it. Come on, you got to get it out of my hand. Well, we got a cold one, and we're still trying to work through it. It was 3 degrees Fahrenheit when we woke up, but it's heated up to 10 degrees. We're inside the chicken run, and last time we were out here, we built this thing out of our old hoop house. We covered it with the tarp, and we were going to cover the whole thing with the tarp, but we realized that it was just going to be way too dark in here. So what this is the old greenhouse plastic that we just put over it, and it's actually been working great. There's no snow in here. Chickens have all kinds of room. But we're going to finish this thing up today, so let's get started on it. Come here, dude. You go.
You can tell we have quite a bit of snow already. We opted to do the clear panels, the poly panels, just like the front of the end wall. I think we've got 12-foot panels, so it's going to let a lot of light in. The snow removal so far has been awesome with this. Our old high tunnel, I really had to make sure to get a lot of the snow off of it, whereas this is capable of holding a lot more weight. And what we did was we built up snow along the bottom where the hardwire cloth is to minimize the wind drifts that come in, especially on that other side. You can tell that predators can absolutely get through these little, I don't know if they're 6-inch squares, it looks like. So a fox could get in there. We haven't had any problems yet, and that's because we have had it covered. So as long as we cover this part and just this part's exposed, we shouldn't really have any issues. We're gonna remove some more snow, and then we are going to get our panels up. Where are we going, hon? Back to like here? I think we'll have to go underneath.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Maybe when we're done? No, but it's not like a yeah, ours okay, I just gotta go overnight. Okay, we got all of them up here. We're using the heat torch to get some of these stubborn stickers off. That's probably not like a new hack or anything, but when we learned that 5 years ago, I feel like that really changed our life.
Watch your front end. That's good. Okay, you got like 4 inches. Keep coming. Okay, set the brake right there. Man, this thing turned out awesome. So before it was about an 8-foot opening. This is 12 feet. We are gonna come over here and we're gonna kind of, well, we're gonna like fold the tarp back a little bit. So the tarp will come all the way to like here. But since we have all this plastic and these 12-foot pieces, we're gonna bring the tarp to somewhere around here and then we're gonna fold it inward on itself and get it all bunchy down. But this stuff is really nice, I like it. And something I wanted to make sure that we did was have kind of like an overhang. So we've got about a 1-inch overhang, and that's gonna keep snow or rain from kind of coming into these ones and going down and getting in the coop. So the way it is now, I'm pretty sure it's like completely weatherproof.
The chicken run is almost complete. We are going to add some lights to it though, and we also have some plans for the chicken house that we're moving on to next. When we built that, well, sorry, we didn't build the shed. When we insulated it and kind of spiffed it up on the inside, we knew that we wanted to make like a small little equipment room in there. We have had chickens for 5 winters in Alaska, and we've always had no light and no heat for our chickens. So we knew when we moved here that we wanted to switch that up, and that's why the coop is insulated. So we're gonna head over there and get some work done. You want me to bring all the heaters out and stuff? Sorry guys. Whoa. I forgot we had flooring in here.
Nice floor, yeah. Quick sneak peek at what this little utility room is gonna house and what it's gonna be like. So you're gonna come in that door, which is right here, and we're gonna have a room right here closed off to the chickens completely. It's gonna start right here. It's gonna go out, I think we were thinking 4 feet, so about to there. And it's gonna go all the way to this wall, and then it's gonna go all the way to the ceiling. We got pretty tall ceilings in here. I think this one's 11 feet, and it goes down to 9 feet. And what's gonna be in here is, let's see, our electricity and our heat. That's all gonna be in here. Right now all I'm doing is sweeping it out so we can finally see the floor again. Let's get it cleaned up. Yeah, watch out for that nail. I didn't get that one nailed right.
So you walk in, you shut the door, you open the door. Yeah, small but functional. want and kind of hold that one there. One.
You're not good though. Look at the tape measure. You're bending it. Pull it straight. You pull it straight down.
One. Am I pulling too hard?
No.
110 3/4.
Okay, let's cut it.
I think that's what happened. This is probably moving your cut fingers in. We took a quick lunch break and we are admiring our chickens, which is something we do a lot around here. The sun popped out for a moment and you could tell the chickens were liking this area already, so that's nice to see. Like it. What was the other one now?
45.5 and 17. Inch opening is my yellow tape.
30 to 32.
Okay.
What do you think? 30?
I think 30 is more than sufficient. 1.5 inches to there, right? Our stud. What's that called? A jack stud?
Jack stud.
Is gonna go to there. And then to the inside of the next jack stud.
Do you want
should
30
be
or 32?
31.5.
Does it fit?
Absolutely perfect.
Nice.
I've seen one that perfect. I think so.
It's kind of heavy. Okay, well she definitely fits width-wise, which is always a pleasant surprise. Oh, I'd say
She's fit.
she's what we call golden.
Okay, let's want to get the hinges on her. Well, we got it done, almost. And what we have here is the framing for our little room. So the outside dimensions of it are 4 feet this way, and we're 6 feet this way. And this whole thing is built out of 2x4s that we used when we poured our concrete slab. So they have concrete on them, and Arielle went around with all these last night, and she used the cutoff wheel on the grinder to cut off a bunch of screws that we couldn't get off with the drill. So we're reusing a lot of the wood we have, and we still got a bunch left. I think we're gonna have plenty of room for the stuff we wanna put in here, which includes the heat source, batteries for the solar system we're gonna do in here, and the door opens inward on this one. We figured that'd just be a little easier since there's usually straw and stuff sitting over there. So we've got a nice door that closes. And we are closing the door on the project for the night. Tomorrow we're gonna get out here and we're gonna put our sheeting up. We got some nice plywood for it. And unfortunately, the chickens, they wanna go to bed. And this time of year in Alaska, you just don't have the light hours. So it's getting dark. We're gonna get all our tools cleaned up and we'll see you guys out here in the morning.
Oh my goodness, who made such a mess in here? Who made a mess in here?
There you go.
The hooligan finished cooking last night, so we've got it out here for the chickens, and it's perfect timing because we have a few of the ladies molting, so they're losing their feathers, starting to drop down into those cold temperatures. It's basically like they lost their coat. The protein helps them grow the feathers back as quick as they can. This is the fish that we dip netted. It was last spring, so not this spring, but a year and a half ago, and we still have a few packets, which is awesome because it's great for the chickens in the winter months. They like it.
All right, let's bring one in and nail her up. Okay.
Perfect. Right here.
I'm just gonna toss them.
Like that.
That looks pretty good. Gosh, it looks solid and it feels good in here.
It's a closet.
Yeah, I can sleep out here.
Oh my gosh! We could put the picture of Nicolas Cage on that door.
Right in the front?
Yeah, so you see him every time you come in.
Yeah, I see Earl. Right here. Shave that down.
Yeah, I can see it. It's right here. That. Put the shave back in 2 seconds. All right, good.
Thank you. Go like that. You know, it's a lock.
You're on need right now.
Okay.
ACD blast.
The equipment room is done in the coop. We don't have to deal with those chickens for a little while, and it's on to the fun stuff. So, electricity for the chicken coop. We're going with a solar system. This whole setup was the complete solar system we had at the old place, so we brought this up here. Our property is off-grid, so this is the solution for our electricity problem for the chickens, and we're gonna start with the panels. We have 2 panels. These are made by Canadian Solar, and I think they're like 310 or 300 watts each. We got about 600 watts of solar. These panels and this whole system is it's going on almost 5 years old, and it's an awesome system. So we're gonna put these up, and we're gonna be using the same mount that we used back where we had it before. This is kind of set up for like a pole mount. That's how we had it on top of our Connex. It worked awesome. But what I think I'm gonna do, and I think it's gonna work, is we're gonna drill some holes in these supports here, and we're gonna try to put it right on the wall. We got the platform on the tractor. Let's get it up there and see if we can get them done. We're aiming for the studs here. So the studs on this chicken coop, they're 2x6s, true ones. So they're 2 inches by 6 inches. They're really strong, and we're gonna be using these bolts. I think these are 4-inch, 3-inch bolts. We're gonna do 4 of them in total. Put a washer on there. This thing ain't going nowhere. All right, I can get those 2 up first. Let me see if I can get it level.
forward for you. Man, how many times have we taken these rails down? Ah! This is fun. So you're gonna build the box around them?
Oh gosh. Okay. Something like that. I like that.
Yeah, I want to lift too.
So let's cut this at 33. Do you want to cut this, and then I'll and then we'll cut it into what pieces we need? On to the batteries. We've got the batteries in the utility room. We're running 4 6-volt batteries. We're gonna wire them in together to make them a 12-volt system. Those are called LP16s, I believe, by Trojan batteries. And this is the box we're gonna be using for them. And since we are keeping our box indoors with the chickens, you know, these batteries that can put off gas, so we're gonna vent this battery box outside, and to do that we built the box. We're gonna have a hinge that we can open it up and we can get in there and work on the batteries, and then we're gonna run a vent like that. This is a 2-inch pipe, and then it'll pop outside of the chicken coop and you can get some fresh air. Get in here, check on the batteries, fill them with water if you need to, and then we'll close it. Let's see if it fits.
Sweet.
It's looking clean. It's looking like I didn't do it. Okay, so that looks good. So negative's gonna go here, positive's gonna go here. That's what I'm working with. I don't do this often enough to just know how to do this. So I researched how to do our old system. That's that, and I took a picture of it before we disassembled it. One more wire, which is our negative, and we should be good to go. I mentioned we wired these to make them 12 volt. They're 6-volt batteries, so we wired them to be 12 volt. That's what our inverter is. And let's get this negative connected, and we'll see if it works. Moment of truth. We ready? Don't blow up. Oh, there we go. Batteries are at 12.4, 12.3.
So they're a little low.
Says we have batteries connected. So our system in here is basic 12-volt solar system. This is a 2,000 watt inverter charger. It's called a Xantrex Freedom XC. So this converts the DC power of battery to AC power. And AC power is just like a regular wall outlet. We're not really gonna have, we might have a wall outlet in here. I don't know. All the lighting we're gonna be putting in here is 12 volt, but this is also a charger. So we're gonna run a cord out of this outside, and when we don't have any sun coming in or anything like that and we need to charge these batteries, we can charge them with this and hook it into our generator. The next step is pretty cool. We're gonna button this thing up. We need to run the wiring from the inverter into this little breaker box and then into the charge controller. And a charge controller, this one's pretty cool. It's called a Midnight Solar, and it's called the 𝐀𝐥𝐚𝐬𝐤𝐚. I believe it's called the Midnight 𝐀𝐥𝐚𝐬𝐿. And it basically controls the solar panels and how they charge your batteries. It tells them how much to charge them and whatnot. And it can prevent things like overcharging your batteries. So we need to go from the panels into this box, into the charge controller, and then from the charge controller to the batteries, and we got ourselves a fully functioning solar system. Oh, my knees don't work no more.
You're gonna have to drill through a stud.
I don't know. Do you think we will? Output. So the solar energy is going to go in here, and it's going to come out there, run that back down, and hook that into the batteries. So we need to shorten these a little bit. The Midnight Kid turned on, but it's just running off the batteries right now, so we don't actually have any solar coming in, but the sun's out right now. It hasn't really been out all day. Let's plug in the solar panels, we'll hit the switch, and we'll see if we're pulling in any sun. Solar panels are similar to a battery where they have a positive and negative, and we have two panels. We're gonna wire them together, so we're gonna go the positive one to the negative one on the other panel. Okay, and then we're gonna go into the charge controller. So that would make that, okay, let's see right here. This would make this one the negative. So we'll go negative to the negative. As long as anything doesn't blow up, I think we got this. Ready? We're hooked up. Let's go inside. Midnight Kid says resting. So we have the breaker here. This is in between the panels and this. So let's turn it on and we'll see if we're bringing any solar in. It'll say solar and it'll have how many watts it's bringing in. Not many watts at all. Did the sun go away? 50 watts. It brought us up to 12.5 volts. We were at 12.3. Look at that. It's jumping back and forth. This is awesome. Cool. Make sure we're all still good. 12.3, 12.4. Another morning out here at the chicken coop, and last night I finished tidying up the solar system, so check it out. Well, here it is. It is the exact same solar system that we used to have, except this one, we took our time a little more, and it's set up a little bit cleaner in here. We've got our vent in on our battery box, so it's right here. It's a 2-inch vent. It goes outside, and it's got another little elbow that points down. I'll show you that when we go out there. And the pipe kind of goes down here in the battery box. There's a pretty big gap along the bottom here to let fresh air in, but I think I might do like a 2-inch hole on the bottom to get fresh air in, and then the gases can escape out that vent. And I mentioned that we probably weren't going to hook the inverter to an electrical switch, but I changed my mind. I had a kind of a cool idea. So we have the cable right here, and this goes outside to where we can charge this with our generator. That's all set up out there ready to go. And then this yellow wire here runs down and along the wall. That is AC out, so we can hook that to an outlet and a switch. And that's what we're gonna put in real quick. Okay, one's gotta go to this light switch. Okay. Let's turn on the inverter and see what happens here. It should do nothing. Okay, it's doing nothing. Let's turn the switch on. It should still do nothing. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna grab something, we're gonna plug it in there and see if it works. All right, we'll see if this solar system and the batteries can power this grinder. So I have this outlet hooked up to where you hit this switch on. It's gonna turn that outlet on, and I have it like that for a reason. We'll show you that down the road. Let's see if this works. Oh, I gotta turn it on. Awesome, it works. So I'm gonna put the little cover on this. We're all done in here. I'm gonna show you one more thing outside. A little bit of snow on the panels and pretty much no sun today, and that equals like no solar power. Our shortest day of the year here is very small. I think it's under 3 hours. There's like no sunlight. So we are gonna have to charge these batteries every once in a while off a generator, and this is the cord we ran outside. So I got a little hook to hang it on. Here's our cord. Before I forget, here's our little vent for the battery box. So that's where the air kind of vents out for us. So that's all done. We've cleaned up our wires and everything, but we've wired in our extension cord. I can show you what it's like to charge these batteries off a generator. And that's it. Let's head inside. We'll show you what it's doing in there. We have a couple different readouts in here. We have the one on the charge controller. Right now it's actually getting a little bit of solar, so it says 38 watts. That's our solar we're bringing in. And it says 14.8 volts. That's what our batteries are sitting at right now that they're hooked to that generator. So 14.8 is like full, and they're on absorb mode right now. There's bulk, absorb, and then it switches to float. It has a couple other features on here. I don't use a lot of them. How do I get to the next one? Okay, see, I don't even know how to get to them. That's how much I use them. Input, that's how much power is coming in, 70.6 volts, I believe. And that's about it on this one. So the batteries are getting charged right now, and they're actually getting charged off of our inverter charger here. And this has its own separate thing right here. So it also has your volts. So we're at 14.7. This one's in bulk mode, so it's really charging up the batteries. And basically these symbols down the bottom mean that it's hooked to shore power, and shore power means that while these batteries are charging and it's hooked to a generator, all the lights in here and everything will actually be running off the generator, which is pretty cool. Really happy with the way this whole system turned out. It's going my way. It went pretty easy this time around. There's a lot more elements that we're gonna add to this chicken coop, and then we're gonna add to this utility room. But that's gonna be a little later on.
This is so neat, you guys. This solar system was ours for 4 years, and we did everything with it. So I'm happy that we're able to repurpose it for the chickens. And this whole thing, the whole area really was, I feel like, repurposed and recycled for them. We've got some pumpkin seeds. We're going to head in and feed into them. Hey, guys. I'm a cooked pumpkin. Oh, wow, look at him. That, my friends, is the sounds of happiness in here. So the chickens cluck when they're happy like that. And like Eric said, we have more work to do out here. That's going to be in our next video. We are adding heat and lights. So definitely an essential part of the run for the chickens. You can tell I carved up some pumpkins earlier today, and we've actually never bought pumpkins up here. And it's not because I grow them very well either. So they were on sale, and I got them in mid-October for Halloween, or honestly, I got them for the chickens. But it occurred to me once I got them that I can't leave them outside here, because recently we've been dropping close to 0 and not even getting above freezing during the day. So our pumpkins would freeze in a few hours like that. So I have to enjoy them inside. See you on the next one. We hope you enjoyed the video.